A hotel was destined to be our guest's second home from the time he first stepped into one when he was a little boy. Now Fabio Pezzini is all grown up and behind the bar at one of London's premier hotels right in the center of it all. I'm Susan Schwartz, your drinking companion, and this is Lush Life Podcast. Every week we are inspired to live life one cocktail at a time by the best in the industry. The Polo bar at the Westbury Hotel has seen and heard it all. From bowler hats to Beatles performing on the roof nearby on Savile Row. Now the modern-day fashionistas and Instagrammers. The windows lining the ground floor bar off of Bond Street are the perfect set for any of his and his team's cocktails. As bar manager, Fabio is guiding the Polo bar into a new era, and his journey from Verona to London will prove he is the one to make it happen.
As I said, my name is Fabio, and I grew up in Verona, where I come from originally, where I actually started my first moving into the field of the hospitality. I'm 41, young age, and I'm in London for already 11 years. So I developed more or less whatever is my career over there the most. But I'm glad to talking about my past, where I started from.
You're definitely going to talk about your past. So let's go back to Verona.
Definitely.
Were your parents both from Verona?
Yes. My mom, actually, she's come from the closest city, which is Mantova. And my father, yes, is originally from Verona. So I'm 50-50, but yeah.
But all northern.
Yeah, all northern. Glad to say I started with my mom as a business as a bar when I was 7. So she opened this bar coming out of the blue because she was doing PA before. And they decided to open this bar with the closer desk friend of her.
What kind of bar was it?
It was like a city bar. So a lot of sandwiches, a lot of like wine, obviously, for the area where we're coming from, Valpolicella and whatever is Soave as a wine, the most famous one. So I started to do my first coffee when I was 7 years old, and I learned from my mom what does it mean hospitality.
Why do you think she started the bar?
She started the bar because she always been fascinated about cooking for someone else. But she didn't have enough money to open a restaurant. So she decided to do something closer with a small cuisine, because obviously the regulation as well for Italy about selling food, they're quite different, complicated. So she found a way to express herself in a different way that wasn't behind the desk. And she was very happy from the very beginning.
Was she making the cocktails or making food that went with the cocktails?
That's Verona is a very small city. We're talking about 240,000 people. So the bar itself is an office bar. So where we had a lot of clientele coming from the offices for having lunch or takeaway lunch. So let's say that she was someone on the first side of delivering food in Italy.
I guess I did not. So an office bar, that's something in Italy, office bar. Yeah. So I guess during the day, people work in offices. Now, is it a nighttime bar as well?
Well, my mom, she retired. So she sold the first bar. She bought another one, which was bigger. And she made her journey. And then eventually she got older and she decided to finally stay home for the not happiness of my dad, but that's another story.
So back to you. So 7 years old, you're in there playing around and making coffee? I done my first coffee,
yeah. And I learned what does it mean hospitality with 5 fingers of my mom on my face, because I was very shy, and a guest came in and she told me, you have to say good evening to the gentleman. I was making the face no. And my mom, she decided to teach me what does it mean? You have to. So I am actually glad, that I had this kind of learn from the very beginning. We're talking about different age. We're talking about different way to grow up as well, and they were quite strict, my parents. So that's where I learned a little bit of discipline, and I'm glad to be who I am at the moment and to being strict in kind of situation. And I love my job in that for that reason as well, because I learn straight away what does hierarchy, and as well, I'm moving my first steps in the hotels where I start to learn about the hierarchy of the people on top of my head. And I was looking at the chart in the hotel. Even if in Italy there's no like big companies, you start to see a lot of people on top or above my head. And I said, one day, I will start to growing and to make the journey to get better. I had a couple of sliding doors to do different jobs in my life. Glad to take the one that took me over here at the moment, because I completely in love for my job.
But so when you were younger and you were learning about the hospitality and, pretty much living in that bar, did you think, this is it? This is the world for me. I want to stay in this world. There's nothing else.
I definitely start to enjoy from the first moment. My first summer season, I was 14. I didn't have, I asked to my dad to buy me a stereo. He told me, you are growing up to do by yourself. And that moment, I didn't understand very well until when he told me, you need to go to work this summer. I was like, oh, okay, good to know. I didn't know before, but now that he let me know, I put it on my agenda. I'm gonna make it happen. So I started to do my first summer season as a waiter in a pizzeria.
So not in your home, not in your mom's bar?
No. My mom, she doesn't want to have me around. So they pushed me to go in a pizzeria. They were so kind to take me over and bring me back home. So they was taking like their time. And I understand that, the gain itself, it wasn't like that much to justify them to take me over and take me back. But that was a teach for me to understand how much is the value of the money and how much it worth to go work. So that was a great stage for my first steps. And after that, I was doing school, and during the summer I was always find a different job for the summer. So I moved in one of the biggest restaurant close to the arena, where we do have the summer festival, the Lyric Summer Festival. And I started being like a waiter for the summer season, 15, 16, and 17. I was quite smart, and I became, from the second year, I became let's say the head commie chef over there. So I was in charge for the lunch, and especially the afternoon. That was
so you
great.
Were cooking?
No. I was. He's like in charge for the commie for the
chef in the
room.
European.
Correct. Yeah.
So head.
Well, we call it still
chef,
maître.
Yes, exactly.
Commis de rang and chef de rang. That was great summers where I can start to find money to buy my independency, so my scooter, and moving forward.
Was there any time that you thought, I'm not going to be in hospitality after your studies, or you knew right away?
Just one step, as I said before. I had a sliding door where I wasn't able to find the right direction. I've been looking for something different because it was the moment of my life. I was 18, and I didn't, express myself in the best way in the place. And I decided it was a transition between a pub to then what I found in the 5-star hotel. Actually, the 4-star hotel, that was the very beginning. And they've been offering me this position as a seller, to going around with like an ambassador or stuff. Nothing connected to the hospitality, so it was no drinks or whatever. It was something else, like gardens utility and stuff like that. They waited a little bit longer to give me the contract. My dad came in and they said, okay, this is not for you. I'll give you a job for you. So he had a contact, and they take me over for this 4-star hotel.
Still in Verona?
Yeah, in Valpolicella.
Mm-hmm.
The family that belonged to this hotel has as well a vineyard, so based in the Valpolicella itself, big family with a big name. And I started to work with them and I stayed there for 3 years. The hotel is called Villa 40. It's a great, great spot in Valpolicella.
Now you're working in a hotel now, and you've worked in a lot of hotels. Do you think, because of your experience in that first hotel, you felt, oh, I feel at home here? This is what I want to pursue?
Yeah, I tried different sectors of the hospitality. Nothing engaged me so well as a hotel. I love the way to see once a year your guests, they come in regularly. So I love the fact that I can see familiar faces. Regardless how long you work in the hotel, you have the repeat guests coming back, and someone is more difficult, so you need to talk with your staff and tell them what are the difficulties for engaging these people, or that's a big word on the back. The behind the scene, it's incredible. So what even my staff can see at the moment is maybe 10% of what we got behind the scene. Meetings and talking through about guest expectation that we are not able to deliver the first time. You need to exceed in the second time. You need to make it happen, and that's what I love most.
And you were happy in that hotel in Valpolicella?
I was pretty happy because I didn't have anyone on top of my head. So I was looking after this very small bar in the way I would. Totally wrong, most probably, but I was young, innocent.
That's your 41 self looking back.
Yeah, of course. I was young, innocent, no experience. That was the only experience I had. It was looking my mom.
And making coffee.
Making coffees and learning about a bottle of whiskey that at the moment I know what I was selling, but at the time I was smelling, I was like, oh, this is just smoky. What is that? Now I got all the impression on the back, I got studies, I know what I'm selling. But at the time it was, for me, nothing connecting to numbers, right? So I was buying that bottle for I don't know how much money, and just I was like doing my research to see how much money I could gain for a portion of that, but we didn't using like even the jigger to understand how much it was. So yeah, that was like random.
Free pouring.
Something that if I see someone now to do in my bar, that's not going to be the best 5 minutes of his life. But that's a different point of view, right? They are in London, and that's what I love about London is the being professional from the top.
But you got the bug there. You caught the bug.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
You thought this is going to be something that could be my career.
Definitely.
So how, from Verona, how did you take the leap to your next jobs?
I get lucky and lucky in the same time that a guest offered me a job in Sardinia for the summer. Looking back a little bit, when I was 17, I said to my mom that I found a job in Dover on the coast of UK as a sommelier. I was learning about wine. I was in Valpolicella. Of course, I was very interested about wine. But I was 17. So when I get back, I talked to my dad. And my dad told me, it's great news. But now you need to go to talk to your mom. So as you can understand, my dad doesn't decide a lot in the house, right? I don't have a brother, sister. So it was just myself. My mom, she replied me, you are 17 and you cannot decide for yourself. I still decide for yourself. You're not going to go. So it's better to find a job yourself in the area over here. It was like a punch, a big punch on the face. And because I really want to go and see the world outside. My mom, she paid that one, trust me, because I'm the kind of person that's fine. I give you the nice face at the beginning, but trust me, it stays inside of myself.
Oh.
That's why when this gentleman offered me the position to go away, I couldn't wait longer. And I said, okay, regardless, I had no contract, I had nothing, I resigned. And then I started to stay home waiting for this contract arriving. And summer season, for some kind of reason, I don't know if it was like a lie or not, it didn't start soon. So in that moment, it was the period that we start to have internet, and I went online and I see this website where I found a job in Venice then. So that was the moment where I started to move. And I went to Venice, close to Venice, for doing my first summer season.
So Sardinia didn't happen then?
Sardinia didn't happen at that time. Mm-hmm. It happened later.
Oh, but that's good. So Venice, so you went right into tourist
I went
area.
to this place, it's called Bibione. It's really famous for summer season. So I done this great summer in a place. I was so excited because the name of the hotel was Grand Hotel. So at that time, having the name as a Grand Hotel on CV was spotless for me. It was like, look where I am, you know. I was so proud, talking to my friends, saying, look, I'm working at the Grand Hotel. Then eventually it was a 4-star. The service was what it was. But I've been there for 2-3 summer seasons then overall. It was exceptional for the fact that I wasn't living home anymore. So I had my own very, 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 and I would say very again small apartment, which was like what we call here a studio flat, even smaller, if I can say. So it was that small that at some point during the day, if you want to open the fridge, you have to close the bed. So you can open the fridge, then you can close the fridge and open the bed again, right? That was challenging, but it was something that gave me the freedom to stay away from mom. Called me 3 times a day until the point I said, Mom.
Verona's not so far away from Venice.
I know. Thankfully, it was enough.
It's like a half an hour train ride.
It was 2 hours and 20 minutes a day, more or less, by car. So my mom, she started to call me many million times, and I said, okay, Mom, you know, your son is good. He's eating. He's feeding himself. He goes to work. Comes back, he does what he does, a guy of 20 years old around by himself for the first time. So just stay home, and we try to be like a little bit, you know, far apart. After that, I start to moving for a winter season. So I was doing a seasonal worker. That was great because I could, you know, traveling. I had a lot of time for myself because there's a summer season and the winter season, you're working overall 9 months. And then Italy at that time, it was paying me as well. For the 3 months, I was staying home. So it was like gaining, to be fair, a lot of money for the work I was doing. As a winter, I was going to Dolomites. So I've been spending a winter season between Madonna di Campiglio and Cavallese. Then the summer, I was going back to Bibione in Venice.
Now, as a seasonal worker, or did you think, oh, I could do this forever? Or did you feel that seasonal work was a stepping stone to, you know, something bigger? Did you not even think about that?
No. I actually always thought about my career. And I was doing this for money-wise. And at the same time, I still had all my friends that they were like free from families, from, you know, they were not adults like they are at the moment. So I was having time to enjoy my friends for the 3 months I was off. Plus I was working a lot and saving a lot of money, which was splashing them as soon as I was finished the summer season. But it was like, the day after I finished the summer season, I was already like half of the budget, right? It's fine. I thought I considered a lot about doing this season wasn't good enough for my career. That's why at some point I decided to stop myself. So that was the moment when I had the first winter season that I moved out of the border. So I was in Austria, basically on the border. And I stayed there for 3 years.
And what in your head was the career going to be?
That was the first time I was in a 5-star hotel, so another time.
So you thought 5-star?
Yeah.
That's what you thought of your career ahead of you?
Correct. My mom, she always said to me, because when I was young, I was like looking this massive hotel in Riccione when we were going for summer holiday, and we were always like in a very small pension, a very, very small pension, and like small rooms and everything. I was looking this massive hotels, like 5 stars, luxury, whatever. And she always said, Fabio, if you wanna go in a place like this one day, you need to go work. as a worker. I was like, thank you, Mom. You were so kind. You see a lot of chances for your only son. Thank you. But I took it on board, and I started taking as a challenge. And I moved the first steps in these 5-star hotels, and I started to see that, I could do great.
Was it everything you thought when you started working at the
Yes.
5-star?
Yes.
Where was it?
It was Alpen Royal Hotel in Wolkenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Great hotel. It developed and it became like one of the most best hotel in Tirol at the moment. If you go in and Google it, this place is amazing place. I was working close to this fantastic chef. The name is Felice Lobasso, and he became a Michelin star chef now. He has his own restaurant in Milan. Great person, great character, super happy. He actually teach me a lot. I mean, I learned more from the point of view of hospitality from a chef rather than a bar manager that I had. He really gave me the chance to tasting, developing my first cocktails, which were like, if I'm looking back right now, obviously I'm gonna laugh a lot, but that's where all of us be passing through. So we're passing through classics because it was in the 90s, on the beginning of 2000, through where we are at the moment, which is a totally different market.
Now, was it usual that the bar would work with the chef at that hotel?
Yes, the chef at that hotel was very, very important. We didn't have any food and beverage managers, so we were connecting. As I said before, that's the difference between UK and Italy, which is even right now. There's no structure with a lot of hierarchy. There's no companies. And at that time, it was very simple to find owner, maître, maybe bar manager, and the chef. That was the hierarchy over there. So when you get to be a bar manager, you arrive. Unless you're going to invest yourself money and you buy your own hotel, that's the top you can get. There's no F&B. At the time, there was no F&B. Maybe they didn't know what does it mean, the word food and beverage. So economist of food and beverage, it was nothing. So we have to do everything ourselves.
And did you think from the chef that he opened your eyes to what the possibilities could be for you as a bartender then?
Yes. Because he done this before he was a couple of years older, and he passed already all of these steps that I was taking at the moment. So tasting wise, I opened my vision to connect the food with pairing the food with the things that we were serving. And then he has a great knowledge for the top quality food. So obviously for the first time I could taste caviar. For the first time I could taste pata negra, and learning there's something else that's good enough as we do in Italy as a Parma ham, so I need to give him a lot credit for what I learned in that period. And then the hospitality itself, that was a 5-star hotel, and I could express in the way I would. So a lot of things that I learned myself, because at that stage I became a bar manager for a 5-star hotel, passing through a 4-star superior in Madonna di Campiglio, which was great as well as experience. But as I said, I was so proud to going back to my friend and say, look, I done it again, from the Grand Hotel Bibione, which I was already looking at the back, okay, to a 5-star hotel. So
now, there's some really gorgeous places in Italy.
Yeah.
Some of the most fabulous hotels in the world. What made you want to come to London?
I passed through different steps before that you obviously don't know at the moment. So once I left for 3 years this place in Wolkenstein, I decided to leave it because it was too far away. The small town, it was 1,000 people, right? So during the summer season over there, it was pretty difficult. Far away from the city center, which it was like 50 minutes by car. Bolzano is the name of the next city. So I said to myself, I need to go back to life, to being better connected to everyone. I had done a summer season in Sardinia, and during the summer season in Sardinia, because he was there waiting for me for a long time. I actually joined Sardinia the wrong year because it was the most difficult financial year when we start to have crisis. So that was reflected a lot in the summer season that we have over there. So I saw the problem that we had over there, and I decided to try something different. So all of my friends in that summer, they were talking about doing summer for the winter to go somewhere. The things that I never accept is like when the people challenging me. I'm a Taurus. I'm like, don't. I don't play for second spot. If I see that I can play for second spots only, I don't play. That's who I am, and I don't like second spot. Second spot for me is like the first loser. That's how I define the second spot. So they challenged me to go to London because it was that close, and I said, but London is too close. If I go to Australia. So everyone told me, you're not gonna go, you're not gonna do this. The day after, I had already the visa. So I said to everyone, I got the visa, anyone wanna come with me now? All speechless, all open mouth. I was like, what? So
they should know you already by now, right?
And I decided to leave, and I left, and I go to Australia. Which was like the best year of my life, to be fair with you, because I was far away. I could express myself in the way I want. Like, no one knows you, so no, you don't have any etiquette on you. Like the person that may be a difficult person, or maybe someone, I don't know. All of us, we taking someone inside, and we living, and we know that we can express ourselves in the way we definitely are. I get to Australia, beautiful experience. I found a job in a restaurant near the harbor. So at the time the salary was still good, so I had enough chance to having a studio flat, bigger studio flat with facility, right?
You didn't have to put away the bad to open the fridge.
No.
Yay.
With a beautiful view on the harbor as well. Great spot. So I spent my year over there, actually 10 months. Then I start to travel around Australia a little bit for the last couple of months, and then I came back. So when I had to decide to go back, I was like, now I have to go back, right? Where I can go, because I had done already Austria on that side. I don't want to go back to Italy. It was starting to do the winter season again. I said, how about Swiss? And I've been Swiss. So I started to find a couple of contacts of mine, and they put me in contact to go work in St. Moritz. I took the chance. And
the ultimate 5-star place.
Yeah. So
it's like 10 stars.
Yeah. Where are the money? I was in Sardinia, but wasn't enough money. Let me find something better, right? So I decided to go to St. Moritz. St. Moritz, winter season, I stay longer than a winter season. I stay overall 10 months.
Must have been crazy.
It was difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I learned German before, so it wasn't that difficult about the language. And anyway, it's the corner of Italy, anyway, St. Moritz, right. So you can express yourself in different languages. I learned English.
Were you in a hotel or a bar?
I was in a hotel. The hotel name is Cesar Gardalei, which at the time was a 4-star hotel, with a crazy F&B manager. That's the first thing I remember when you asked me for that. This guy was weighting the bottles, not even looking at one, taking a stock take.
No free pouring there.
Daily basis stock takes, this guy. It was crazy. But you see, you're learning, and then eventually when you start doing these things day by day, it became naturally. So regardless who I met on my career, good or bad people, I learned something from everyone. That's the most important part. I admit that, sometimes the people, they're looking back and they see bad people and they're thinking like to say only bad things about people. I could say more than bad things. But I learned from everyone, which is something that I take on my baggage. So I went to Swiss, and then after 10 months I saw that Swiss wasn't good enough because I don't like cold. I'm not into snow sports. So I was like a little bit feeling back again like I was in Bolkenstein, and I said that enough is enough. What is remaining? Spain, US, and I tried to US, but I didn't get any visa very quickly. So after that I was in Swiss for 8 months, I started to apply for visa and these kind of things. I didn't see any feedback. So I said, I need to find a solution. I need to go. Let's try London.
I thought you said you didn't like cold.
Well, yes, but eventually it's a city
I'm teasing.
with summer. So.
In inverted commas.
Yeah, to be fair, the first when I arrived over here, it was May. That season, that year, it didn't rain from May until September, and it was super, super hot.
You brought it.
I called my mom and I said, I don't know why people complaining over here.
Was she still talking to you after going to Australia?
Yeah, we still talking. Good. She wasn't happy.
Now London.
She wasn't happy.
London, you must have known that this is the home, pretty much the home of cocktails now. Mm-hmm. Was that one of the reasons why you came? No.
I am totally fair to say this. I could building up stories, but no. I moved here because I have to find a better place to live, because I couldn't feel anymore to live. After I tried Sydney, which anyway was 4.5 million, and I loved it, I said I need to find another city where to live. So London was good for the hospitality. London was great for as a CV, to building up your CV. And I came over, but I had no friends, no knowledge about London. So I learned a little bit about hierarchy and about companies when I was in Australia.
And your English? How was your English?
My English when I went to Australia.
I'm sorry.
It was disaster. It was a
But
disaster.
after 10 months in Australia, obviously you're speaking
English. I can
English,
tell you that I was replying to people, instead to say, "You welcome," I was say, "I don't care." So
the first couple of people you met in Australia didn't
now I know why the people, when I was in Italy, I would say, "I don't care," or "Don't care," that's it. They were looking at me like badly, but I never realized, because I never had a mentor to tell me that that's wrong. So I learned myself. Anyway, I came to London with no knowledge about hotels and big names, and I remember that for the first couple of months, I didn't find any single job that was something that I like. I was definitely aiming higher than I would, because I had like a lot of experience as a bar manager already, Sardinia or Swiss or in Austria. And I said to myself, I want to apply minimum as a supervisor. It's not working. In London, if your CV, regardless what you've done in the past, is not the same as London. So you need to learn how to sell alcohol, what is alcohol over here, the history. You need to get a package to become who you can become over here. I started to apply for these smaller places, then I wouldn't be able to fit myself in a different environment than hotel. So I took the chance and I said, okay, I wasn't applying for the 5-star hotel. I was applying only for the 4 stars as a supervisor. So I said, okay, fine. I don't have any more. I mean, I still have money, but I said, I don't have much money more to waste over. I will try to do my best to apply for the 5-star hotel and see the environment, at least of the 5-star hotel. So I applied for a few 5-star hotel, and I started to get finally response. And they were calling me to be a bartender. I knew the company of Mandarin Oriental, and then I applied for this place, which I never heard about, and the name is Dorchester. I don't know. So both of them, they called me, and I had the interview in the same day for both of the places. I still looking from outside, for me, the Mandarin Oriental was, I don't know, in my mind was bigger, was better. And I was living with an old lady when I came in London, and she told me bad things about the Dorchester, about what she knows about the Dorchester. So I was very curious to go to the Mandarin Oriental rather than the Dorchester. Then the bar manager of the Dorchester, we started to get engaged a little bit better, and he was Italian, he is Italian, and he convinced me to go there. So he took me out. We had drinks together. One of my best friends now, and he opened my eyes a little bit. So I took the position as a bartender at the Dorchester, and where I started my journey in London, where I stayed for 3 years.
And was it a massively big difference from what you had been doing before?
Well, the impact of the promenade, it's massive. I mean, you can feel it. You can feel, we're talking about 10 years ago, where the big money they were. You could feel it. You could feel it in the way as well. The staff was acting. There was like no more chances to be like casual. You need to be professional. And that's, for me, it was like, wow, finally. Every single person is acting as a professional. So I don't have to fight anymore to find, and, started to being together with the only people that they're producing a great job. Slowly, I get second with Stefano behind the bar. We were running this promenade bar, which was absolutely successful with live music. So we started to engaging a lot of guests. Stefano was there for already a couple of years. So he had already started building up a little bit. But as soon as we came in, we put together, it was like a couple. The working with Stefano and working with the other people, the other 3 members of the bars, it was great in the way we were performing over there. So I was talking to you, you are a guest, regardless what we were talking. I was maybe asking what you like or what you're drinking. And in the meantime, my colleagues, they were listening what we were saying, and they were preparing already the drinks. So we never stopped to conversation each other. Incredible. The way we were performing behind the bar without even know each other, but the way we were everyone on the same level. It was no boss, no second person. That was make feel everyone special. And in the way you can do that, I was doing with someone else, so they can feel special in front of the guest. Incredible. That journey was absolutely opened my mind in terms of hospitality and the way we can exceed the expectation of the guest. The guest was still talking. Maybe you need to wait 3 more minutes to have the drinks. No, the drinks was ready. Was already there. And he could finish the conversation with me. I was like, everyone was amused. All the people, they were amused about this. We built up for the next 3 years. I stayed over there. A great bar, small bar. The main bar sometimes was making less money than us, and the main bar has like double than our staff. The main bar has a better name because obviously there's one of the biggest name over there. Giuliano, as well, is someone that I learned a lot from. Coming from my same region in Italy, was one of the biggest bar manager. He's still there, still on the top of the name, Giuliano. So I had the chance to learning a lot from him as well. Great.
Did you think I'm in the right place for me now?
When I was at Dodge?
I mean, when you were in London, did you think this is
London was tough
a good
at
choice?
the very beginning. London was tough. I had no friends, and the first couple of months it was difficult. As soon as I started over there, my life totally changed. My life totally changed. I found a different place to go to live with the younger people as well, and then I had friends at work. So for me, work is everything. And even in that moment, having like friends, co-worker, it was great.
And so you went on to Quaglinos after that, right?
Not really. I spent 3 years at the Dorchester. When I left, I joined D&D for the first time. So I opened a place in Liverpool Street, which is called Bengal Bar.
So you turned away from...
I turned away from
the hotels.
And that was a big step. It's not only because it was not an hotel, but the big step it was passing through Mayfair to Liverpool Street, where Mayfair and that particular moment, the guests, they were like very, very easy with the money. They were splashing the money for tips and everything, to Liverpool Street, where the people, they were fighting to remove the £2 service charge. So it was a big, maybe too big, and I wasn't aware and I wasn't ready for that kind of step. I stayed for 3 months until when my manager from the Dorchester moved to the Lanesborough, and he called me back to be supervisor at the Lanesborough. So at the Lanesborough, I spent 1.5 years before they closed down for the refurbishment. I was the supervisor for the smoking lounge downstairs and the library bar, one of the biggest iconic bar in London.
Wow.
After that, they closed down.
So the Lanesborough was going to close down?
Yeah.
Because it was getting refurbished?
Correct.
So what were you going to do in the meantime?
In the meantime, I started looking after, and the food and beverage manager that was at Dorchester moved to the Corinthia as a hotel manager. And the project was for Corinthia to open the cigar lounge. Because I was supervisor for the cigar lounge, and you know me, we worked together very well, he actually contacted me and he told me about this project. So I even think twice, because working with Renoir, it was great, has been a huge mentor for me at the Dorchester. In the way, I love the way everyone was scared about him. It's true, he was massive scared, and when the PA of Mr. Gregoire was calling to advise that he was walking down to the promenade, you could see the manager walk down straight away from the pantry, put everyone online, like checking, the grooming, checking the way, the breath sometimes, because he was very strict. The fact is, I never get worried about that because I know that I was performing good.
And you were used to strict?
I was actually no concern at all. When I actually was coming down, I was the only person that go into chatting with him and, making jokes as well. And I could see my manager sweating with dripping like a little bit of sweat on the face because and then he was leaving and every time he was laughing. So then eventually, as I said, he called me back to work for the new project at Corinthia. Unfortunately, it takes a little bit longer than normal at the Corinthia. And after 1.5 years, I was there moving between departments to try to fixing and putting together the bars at the Massimo before, and then to the Northall, where I became assistant manager for restaurant manager. So I tried to move in a little bit of the F&B department to see if I can grow in my career as well. Great opportunity. Thanks, I'm 100%, million percent thankfully to Mr. Gregoire for giving me the chance to learning as well the restaurant side. And maybe because I had the restaurant side as well, I've been called to go to Quaglinos and developing a little bit of skills over there.
And what did you find different from working in a restaurant bar to a hotel? Did you miss it?
I missed every single day.
Uh-huh.
I missed my guests. I missed the restaurant itself is not a 5-star hotel. What I loved about the Quaglinos is the bar. It looks like a lounge of hotel. Plus the view from the top of the bar of Quaglinos to the restaurant is amazing. That spot is incredible. The only problem is underground and there's no windows. So at some point, after 2.5 years that you don't see the light, for even your skin starts to get like whiter than normal. I was like, I'm looking like a phantom. And
you need your vitamin D.
Yeah, but the spot itself, it was great. I was missing all my guests, but eventually I worked very well and I learned a lot. I mean, what I say, D&D for me has been my university. Regardless how many hours I did, regardless how bad managers on top of my head, but what I learned it was totally different. So basically, the differences between the 5-star hotel and then eventually to find yourself to work in D&D, you need to learn P&Ls, numbers. Every single day is meeting for everything. So you need to be in control of every single person walking through the door. Things that I never seen before, because sometimes in the 5-star hotel only the managers knows all of these things, and that's what we say at the very beginning. My guys knows 10% about what's going on behind the scene. That's the reality. What is in the back is like all this budget, cost management,
the business of it,
all over. So that's what I learned, and I'm so thankful to even these people that treat me bad sometimes, to learn all of these things, because I wouldn't be here right now. So it's a step of career that I done, no regretting. It was very hard. It was super hard.
So here we are. And we are at the Westbury, sitting in the Westbury.
Correct.
So
In
another
Sweden,
hotel.
Can you believe it?
Yes, the Hanover suite, this gorgeous suite. So now you've come back to a hotel.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I'm working for the Westbury for 11 months now.
And what were you brought on as? How? Tell us a little bit about your journey here.
It was a little bit change. They had a manager that was here for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I've been told from the very beginning, they need to have a change. They need to be more competitive of the years where we are. So this bar has been managed in the past brilliantly. The manager done a great job before, but they never make the swap to being luxury to a little bit more up on the market, where you need to engaging everyone. So the first step it was for me to take away this label of being expensive, being only luxury, and you cannot permit if you don't have like 3 credit cards, right? So that was the first part of the journey, because we want to engage any single guest coming through. We want to become one of the cocktail bar that been on the bound for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
The best things is engaging people of the industry to come over, try our cocktail, and became some of the places where the people coming to London as a bartender and they want to go to see Artesian, because obviously it's one of the biggest name, or they want to go to Siago at the Connaught, this kind of big name. We want to become not as a Fabio. I don't mind. I'm not the kind of person that want to put myself in front. Actually, no. My team is in front, and I prefer to see the people coming through and talking with any of my waiter, rather than to being the light of the place. I will be, because obviously I give to the people light enough to shining all of them, right? All of them, they're stars, and the stars taking the light from the sun. But I don't have to be there all the time. So
no, absolutely. And when you it's probably super exciting to be given this challenge to become one of the great hotel bars in London, among a plethora of great hotel bars.
Yeah.
How did you even start that? Were you talk me through menu creation and all that kind of thing?
Well, the first thing to consider, and the first core stuff that we kept over is the service. For me, service is more important than the cocktail itself. It's more important of the wine or what you're selling, because eventually there's a lot of people that can come back for you as individual, as a waitress, because you're giving like the best service. We are hospitality itself is service. So there's a lot of standard that we're having. We are part of Marriott Hotel, so we have all the standards for the Marriott, plus we're having the excellent standards. And that was the first part that we kept as our core. Then we moving forward, we start looking what is the market around at the moment. So there's a lot of studies between what your competitors, what they're doing, what they're serving, the money. So we need to study. I had to study a little bit what are our challenges around, what they're doing for their guests, and we have to serving something better. So I started to making deals to reducing the cost of the spirits or whatever, to giving a better price to our guests, to engage any single guest to coming through in a different way. So there's promotions. I love to working a lot with brand ambassadors, because obviously they are part of this business, and they want to take me inside. So they will help us with some other marketing on the other side. So it's taking any single people around the business to help you to building a business, because by yourself you're not going to do anything. Same as with your team. If you want to be the only star and you're not giving them the chance to shine, well, this is not a project. This is a project for yourself, and it's a solo project. So over here you need to take in the hands of everyone. We have a great hotel manager. He helped me a lot at the very beginning. I was helping him as well, because he has less knowledge about London. He just arrived in London. So we growing together in the last year, and we are selling at the moment a fantastic product. So we get through the process of changing a team, which it was like long. We unfortunately have to lose some people on the way. They decide to go back with the previous manager, and that's part of life. So at the moment we just engage Cyprian, which is our new head bartender, super creative guy, super knowledgeable. He loves to talking a lot, and that's for us is a point of engagement with guests behind the bar. It's the first step. It's first approaching, and then we having my assistant manager Benoit, great hospitality fields as well, coming as well from the Dorchester point of view, and then Linsborough as well. Great guy. So we then we started building up as well, not only the team but a new cocktail list, because what we are focusing at the moment, as I said before, we want to be louder on the market. This place has never been a big name for cocktail wise, but it was more on Chacham Montrachet, Amarone, we serving this kind of wine, we serving this kind of champagne. But there's a market as well for us for cocktail. Position that we're having on Mayfair, on very close to Regent Street. So we need the windows that we're having. So what I normally say to my guys, the first marketing point of view, our Instagram is not on the social media. Our Instagram, they are like the 3 windows that we have on the bar, because everyone can pass through and they can see if you have like a fantastic cocktail on the table, that's your first Instagram. So that's where the people that can see us, they can say, oh, look what they're serving over there. Let's have a drink.
Especially in this part of town, which is all fashion.
Absolutely. So we obviously love the past. So our basic is classics, but we try to look in classic twist. That is something that's been done already quite a few times. So all over my staff, when we're doing like a cocktail list, a new cocktail list, I engage every single one. So I give them the direction, but they want to see that everyone has a name on the menu, because there's nothing better than having like something to propose to your guest. Like, I made this one. This one is my signature, right? Why am I saying that? Because for the 3 years I've been working at the Dorchester, my manager, he didn't pass me one single cocktail, right? I had 2 only at the very last one when he was leaving. I think he gave me the spots only because I pushed for many times. So that's why I love now. You see, I can learn from whatever I got in the past, and I understand what does it mean not having your cocktail on the menu when you work in a place. So now for me, it's all about them. It's all about create something with them and create a buzz with them. Because eventually as well, any single individual can help you to do marketing as well. So why not? You do have potential. You do have some skills in the house. Use it. There's no point to keep it on the side.
Well, should we go down to that bar and try one of Benoit's or one of the others' cocktails?
I believe it's the best choice of the day.
Thanks so much to Fabio for taking us on his journey. I assure you, one pass by the Polo bar and you won't be able to resist any cocktail, especially our cocktail of the week. Take the essence of the famous Venetian cocktail, then add a bit of Italicus, and you get our cocktail of the week, the Bellinicus, a Polo bar favorite. To make this at home, put all these ingredients in a cocktail shaker. 45 mLs of Italicus, 20 mLs of lemon juice, 15 mLs of rose syrup, and 4 mLs of peach bitters. Add ice and shake, shake, shake. Then strain it into a champagne flute. Top it all up with Moet and Chandon. A chic, peachy cocktail. You'll find this recipe and all the cocktails of the week at alushlifemanual.com, where you'll also find all the ingredients in our shop. next time join us when I meet two lads who asked themselves why there weren't any mixers to go with the dark spirits they loved. So, they decided to right that wrong. Until next time, bottoms up. Thanks for listening to the Lush Life Podcast. For more information and links to everything you've heard, plus a whole lot more, please visit alushlifemanual.com. Always remember the wise words of Oscar Wilde. All things in moderation, including moderation. And always drink responsibly. Okay, I said that last part. Theme music is by Steven Shapiro and used with permission. Lush Life is produced by Terra. And I'm your drinking partner, Susan Schwartz. I'll see you at the bar.